Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Abimbola. If it's your first time, what's up? Subscribe. So I'm going to talk about two things quickly, but the first one I want to address YouTube. For the longest of time, I've been on YouTube, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years, probably even longer. And I've never been able to crack it. And I honestly don't think there's a crack to it or there's a code to it. And I say that because everyone is different and how people approach content is different. I, again, as someone who creates content online and for TV, I think for me, YouTube was meant to be an outlet where I just come on and express myself and then I move on. And over time, I think I got caught up with looking at numbers and feeling like as if I was failing at it. And everybody does get into this season of that. If you're a YouTuber, you get it. Where I felt like, okay, maybe I should be doing more. But for every time in which I tried to, I felt like I wasn't being me. And it just didn't come organically. I'm very introverted, contrary to what a lot of people think. And so I spend a lot of time by myself, consuming content, watching content, and trying to come up with content. And I do great doing the former for a lot of people, but not for myself. A friend can call me and have an idea and I'm 2 seconds jumping on it, giving them 50 other little ideas and then they run with it. Whereas for myself, I'm just stuck and I'm just staring. And so over time, I just got tired of trying to do this YouTube thing because I'm just like, listen, you guys look vlogs, but I don't go anywhere. When I do, anyways, it just became a thing where it felt like work for me. And so I shut down on that angle. And, but now I'm back. So that's the first one addressed. Now, the second thing as to why the first one led to the second thing, if it makes sense, it makes sense. Go with me here. I'm going somewhere. When I worked at Indani for the 8.5 years in which I did, it was great. And when I chose to leave was because I wanted something more for my career and for myself. But the thing people don't tell you, and I don't think anybody owes you that explanation, right? Is that when you've been in a safe haven or in a bubble for a bit, when you step out of your comfort zone, it literally feels like you walked into Third World War III. That's how it feels like, right? And so for me, that was it. I'm a creature of comfort and just constant habits. I do the same thing over again. I don't get necessarily bored of it. And so having left that cocoon to step into Nollywood and as a creative, it felt like I was a fish in water, like I didn't know how to swim. And so I was grasping just simply because I felt like I needed to prove a lot of things to myself, but low-key, I think also to people. And who the people are, listen, I don't even know. But a friend of mine, Bumi Ajakaye, we've known each other for years now. She's quite an amazing creative. Said something to me late last year that I didn't take seriously until I got it. She has for years now been trying to get me to script write. And contrary to what a lot of people think, I'm actually not a script writer. I call myself a synoptic writer, meaning that half of the projects, no, I say half, trying to be modest, and I need to stop that. Majority, if not all of the projects in which I've worked on, I've been very, very heavily involved in the synopsis, in the storytelling, because I'm that kind of producer. I like to be involved in everything. And so every time I thought about script writing, I just felt like that wasn't an avenue in which I wanted to get into because the amount of attention it takes is a lot. And I felt like I had so much going on. And so I kept on coming up with the excuse of, Bumi, please, I'm not ready. And she would laugh at me. But she said something to me last year. She said, okay, Bimbo, you know what? You're one of those people, you like to compartmentalize things. You're not ready for that, that's fine. However, I challenge you, for every time in which you come up with an idea, write it down. Now, I'm not necessarily a writer. I've already said this. But I'm not even a writer generally. I don't journal. I don't know how to. If I have creative ideas or juices, it stays in my head. The most I do, I just type it down on my phone so that I can always go back to it. And she said, for every time you come up with an idea, just write it down. And so in the past, let's say that was in December, it's been 4 months now. And the amount of things I've been able to come up with in my mind has literally blown me. I just always felt like I belonged in just one box and I kept on putting myself there. And it's crazy because if you know anything about me, I'm the opposite of that. And I tell people to be the opposite of that. But it's funny how life can be. And I don't necessarily think it's that we are all hypocrites, but we are. And not in a bad way. I'm telling you to do this, I'm giving you advice, but half of the time I don't even know how to use the advice that I'm giving you. And I think that's life. And sometimes we need to be more intuitive to realize that sometimes the pen in which we're using to yield for other people, we can use for ourselves. And so that's what the aha moment has been for me in the past 3 months. It's been crazy. Because I always just thought producing, so I would take people's content, I will make it great. But I've never thought that I could be the creator of. And I think that's also because for the longest of time, I've just always been content being a part of. I'm not necessarily wanting to own. And this owning I'm talking about is not owning the film or saying I'm the executive producer. It's not even about that. But just being able to create something from start and from scratch and be able to say, this is mine. I just always limited myself. It just made me feel shy. It made me feel like I didn't want to be put out there. And that's another thing a lot of people don't know. My mom would tell people, I remember one of my birthdays, I can't remember which one, I think it was my 33rd. And, my friends were saying amazing things about me. And my mom it was my mom's turn to speak. And then she was like, oh, a lot of people have said a lot of things about my daughter. But I've noticed that none of you have ever said anything about Bimbo being shy. And they're like, huh? My mom was like, yeah, Bimbo is actually shy. And I'm like, yep, I actually am. But people don't know that. And it's not because I mask it with all this confidence and because, no, I am confident. And I'm confident because I be God Peking, right? But I'm also shy because I don't like attention and I don't know why. And I think at the core of it, I need to figure that out. But anyways, this not liking attention has held me back for the longest of time. And if you know me, then you know what I'm trying to say. I don't like to blow my trumpet. I don't like to shout things from the rooftop. And I don't think I ever will be that person. But I think that sometimes people like me limit ourselves and we take it so literal. And so I say this to say, I don't know if I've made sense. I hope I have. But if you're like me in terms of thinking and working and being a creative and just being content with just taking whatever it's given to you, it's time to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. Get out of your way a bit. You know what I mean? I'm constantly in my head, thinking, analyzing, processing, clapping and rooting for everyone. But I need to root for myself more. And it's not about gassing myself up or gaslighting myself. It's just about being able to push myself a bit more. And so that's where I'm at right now. I'm so excited because I literally thought of something today and I called my friend Bumi and I'm like, yo, and she's like, oh my God, Bimbo, this is great. This is a great storyline. And I'm like, yeah, I'm about to start putting it together, about to put a proposal. And she's like, yeah, man, you go. Bimbo, keep thinking these things and keep writing it. I have a lot of friends, but I have very few when it comes to my creativity that see me and push me. And so I just want to appreciate all of them. And I'll call two just now, not because the rest don't, but Bumi Ajakai, you're a real one. As in, we argue when it comes to creativity, but you see me. And then Agnes. Agnes is, one day I'll tell Agnes is a nice story. But anyways, story for another day. This video is literally just to say, get out of your way. All right, guys. See you guys later. Bye.